All right, we're gonna get started today with a couple of stories for essential oils and things that have helped. So I have a grandchildren that come over periodically, and I was making cookies, and the 2-year-old, I got the hot pan, I just took it out of the oven, and he's old enough to know better. And I said, I'm putting this in front of you. It was still a foot away from him. I said, I'm putting this in front of you for me to get the cookies off of the pan, and don't touch because it's hot. And he immediately just put his finger down and touched it. And I was like, so I quickly grabbed the lavender and put it on his finger. And of course, it just calmed it down. He didn't have any problem at all. This is what I mean by keeping the oils handy. As I talk to a lot of people who put their oils away in drawers or boxes, or the box that they came in, or they don't put labels on the top of the bottles, labels like this on the tops of the bottles. And so it makes it so that you're not seeing your oils, you're not having them handy. And so if you burnt yourself, you might just go, oh, I'll just put it underwater. But if that lavender is right there, you're going to be able to use it quickly. And I've been doing a lot of sewing this week, and I don't know what I did, but one night when I was going to bed, just underneath my cuticle was super swollen and red. And I had no idea what I'd done. I didn't know if it was a cuticle problem, but you know that feeling when it hurts to the touch and it's just a little swollen and red. I knew something was wrong. And I was upstairs, and I keep some oils upstairs by me, but not all. And I turned my head to see what I had. And the first thing I looked at was tea tree oil. I'm like, yes, I don't have to go grab. So I took the tea tree oil and I just put a drop on my other finger, and I touched it on it. And it immediately calmed it. I had no pain as I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I could see the tiny little sore that I had. I must have caught myself while sewing somewhere, but I had the tiny little sore underneath my cuticle. Not on my nail, but just on my finger. And somehow it had gotten some type of infection to get to the point of being swollen and red, but zero problem. Zero problem. I did put one more drop of tea tree on it in the morning just to help it with its healing. And so 2 drops of tea tree oil. And I don't know, I look back at my life and I think of all the times I had something that went wrong. And there was a time when I got a yeast infection. I know this is really odd, but under my arms. And I didn't know what to do for it. And I was buying ointment after ointment, of course, over the counter stuff I was trying. Then I finally talked to a doctor, and the doctor gave me a prescription to use, and it did help. And the yeast infection finally went away. But I look back now and I think, if I'd had the oils, I would have used Correct-X, I would have used tea tree oil, I would have used some things to help with that itching that I know would have calmed down the skin and helped it. So keep your oils handy and have them ready to use. We're so glad you're on, Shaleen. And if there's anybody else that has a story they want to share this week of something that's working for them.
I just kind of have, it's almost a follow-up from last week, but it's not. It's just that it's happened both at the same time.
Okay.
But last week I read a story about someone using the oils to help heal, like physical stuff, and it created all of the emotional stuff and brought back, those of you who were there heard it. So I have someone on our team that has been on depression medication for a long time, years. And she did a cleanse, the 30-day cleanse. About 1.5 to 2 weeks into it, she got so depressed, manically depressed, scary depressed. And we were going, the only thing we can think of is that cleanse was so thorough, it got rid of all the buildup of all of the depressants that she'd been taking for all of those years. And so it was like, but you need those, she was going, we were both panicking going, oh no. And then, when you have to go through this storm before you get to see the rainbows. And so she's not completely through it yet, But as we've been processing and working through, she's working with a medical doctor as well. And they're saying, well, you know what? And this is like a therapist medical doctor. He says that we need you to be completely weaned off from all your medications anyway. And so you're pretty much there so that we can figure out what we can do to be of help to the degree that you need. And so through this experience, it has been like heartbreaking, and we've like been on the phone every single day to help her through all of it, is that cleanse instigated a better life for her. And she's more hopeful now. I mean, she still has to go through all of that pain, just like in that story last week. Isn't that interesting that it was like, so bringing that up, because you're going to want to hear the whole story. She's going to tell the whole story when she has that strength. But is that when we go to our natural healing and our bodies have to get used to it, because we're used to so many different other influences in on our body, that sometimes that healing, just like a broken leg, once it's broken and you have to reset it, it's the same way with using the oils as you introduce them into your life. You do it a little bit at a time, not everything all at once to overwhelm, but expect some incredible miracles that come through the storms that you're facing right now.
I just love listening to you, Jolene, expecting incredible miracles. Sometimes I get a little caught up with the business end of things and, oh my goodness, I need to be selling more. And that is not what this is about for me. It is about the miracles. It is about how can I change somebody else's life. I was at a friend's house recently doing a visit, and she happens to live around another friend who's one of my customers. And she said that friend has come to her and said that MetaPower has changed her life and that she is consistently using it. And when I heard that, I was like, I knew she was trying it. I knew she'd been on it for the last couple of months, but I hadn't heard the results. And that kind of miracle just really, I knew that friend had just lost her husband and was going through a lot of things. And so just the fact that MetaPower could buoy her up. It's those miracles. That's why we do this. So thank you, Jolene, for sharing that. That was awesome. All right, we're going to talk about MetaPower today and our metabolism. Now, I want to give you just a little bit of background about me, because I am somebody, and I feel like it's my lot in life, and that's okay, is to have an overweight body and struggle with my metabolism. I truly believe that I've created this problem through not eating correctly, really extremely not eating correctly. I grew up in a family with a lot of weight issues, and the family, mom would either be making a pot of zucchini soup, and I mean a pot. I had 7 siblings. There was 8 of us, and she would make a pot of zucchini soup, and she would say, we're going on the zucchini soup diet. That's what you get, 3 meals a day. You just eat this soup. So I went from the extremes of that to, okay, we're off that now. And Dad would buy Thrifty's ice cream, came in a rectangle 4-gallon container of Thrifty's ice cream. And when my family would eat ice cream, you would take a bowl and it would be piled full and towered over. That was a serving of ice cream. It was not a normal small serving. It was, so the extremes were, let's see how fast we can get through this ice cream, or let's not eat it all. And it was crazy. And my mom even had me, some of you who are older may remember, it was called liquid protein. It was pre-digested something. I don't know. I don't remember the details. Mom had me on a doctor's, my brother and I, they would take us to the doctor every week. So because it was through the doctor, I guess it was okay. And we, in our growing years, my brother was 12 and I was 15. In our growing years, when I probably had maybe 25, 30 pounds to lose, had us eating nothing but pre-digested liquid protein. And we were allowed to eat celery and carrot sticks and vegetables besides that in our growing years. And I look back at that and I think, my poor body. I mean, it was just up and down and up and down. So I start just by not to share you, whoa is me, Shaleen, but I truly think there might be something wrong with my metabolism and I need something to straighten it out. So when doTERRA a year ago, almost a year ago, started convention, they'd been sharing with us about MetaPower. They'd been saying, okay, here's this system and it's going to help your metabolism. I was not phased. I was like, oh, this sounds so complicated. It sounds too good to be true. I'm not sure that I want to. I can remember sitting there, and Leanne was so excited that she took the little sample that they gave all of us, and she was like, "Oh, did you try it? Did you try it today?" And I'm like, "I'll get started on it when I get home. I'll try it." I was just like, I just wasn't even excited. And when I started, everybody was saying, "Oh my goodness, I feel so good. I feel this energy. I feel this and that." And I started with MetaPower and my eyes felt like they just wouldn't open up. I was like, I'm supposed to be all energetic. And what is my problem? And I spent the first couple of weeks using this system I'm going to talk to you about, not feeling my best. Well, I've come to learn, kind of like what Jolene was just talking about. Sometimes our body needs to cleanse and our body needs to get rid of what's in the system so that we can move on to what's better. And so I'm going to start by talking about the system a little bit, and then I'm going to throw in the stories of how it has affected me over the year. It's so hard to think that's a whole year, but it's almost a whole year. So I'm going to share the screen with you and share a few, just, I want you to be able to well, this is me with some MetaPower. Just give me a thumbs up. Can you see me on the screen? Okay. So we're going to just share some pictures with you about the MetaPower system and what it can do. And first of all, I don't want you to look at this whole system and go, oh my goodness, I have to use all of this. You don't. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to explain what the different parts are. I'm going to tell you the parts that I use on a regular basis. And then I'm super glad Jolene's here because I don't use Assist on a regular basis. And I would love, Jolene, for you to share a little bit about that when it's time. That'd be great. So we're going to talk about the oil. What they've done is they've taken MetaPower, this oil, and they have put it in a blend. Now, if you've been with doTERRA a long time, you may remember Slim and Sassy. It's actually some of the same oils that they used in Slim and Sassy, but they've reformulated it. And they have done research that shows that this formulation gives a much more impactful help for your metabolism. So it actually inhibits fat cell maturation, curbs cravings, and supports your metabolic health. Well, I'm even watching it at the convention a year ago and going, really, it's going to curb my cravings? Really? That just sounds ridiculous. And I've been amazed as I've put a drop of this oil, grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, cinnamon bark, as I put a drop of oil in a glass of water every day, that I am not craving the sweets as much. I still eat them. I eat them out of habit. I eat them out of desire, but I'm not craving them. And I find I don't mind the taste. If you look at this list of oils that's in here, grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon, it's a little spicy, but it's very palatable for me. And I really love it. You can also put this in a diffuser because it smells so great. It again gets that into your system and gives you the help that the oil gives. Well, now they've taken the oil and they've put it in these parts of the system. And these parts include the oil itself that you see on the left, the beadlets, I'll explain that in a minute, the gum, and the soft gels. So they've taken the MetaPower oil, it's also in the Advantage and the Assist, but they've taken it and they've really put it into these products. Now, I don't use the gum as much. I am a gum chewer. I will admit I am a gum chewer. I chew gum at night. I actually go upstairs to do my evening projects to get away from the kitchen. And I do my projects at night and I chew gum because that helps me not eat in the evenings. But this gum is not bubble blowing gum kind of gum. It has the MetaPower taste to it. And I do use it once in a while when I really feel the need to eat something and I just need to chew something. But for me, I don't use the gum as much. The soft gels are the exact oil, the Metapower oil, put into a soft gel. So you're able to have the soft gel, boom, take it down your system. If you don't like the taste of the oil, boom, you can just take the soft gel down and get the same benefits from it that way. If you happen to like the taste and you want just a little bit of help, the beadlets are just the oil, quarter drop, put into a little beadlet. Again, just a quick, easy version of taking the oil to help your body want to curb those cravings. All right, we're going to move on to Metapower Assist. Now, Metapower Assist is another bottle that you saw when you saw this first grouping. And Metapower Assist is different than the other products that are on there. Metapower Assist has different ingredients, different things that they've put in there. When you take the Metapower Assist with a meal, the mulberry extract they put in there helps your body slow the digestion of the carbohydrates you just ate. When you take Assist with the meal, the mulberry extract helps your body slow the digestion of the carbohydrates you just ate. That's so interesting to me. They even did a double-blind placebo-controlled trial that monitored the glucose levels. And the Metapower Assist, when it was taken before meals, I have such a hard time remembering to take it before the meal. When taken before the meals, it decreased the glycemic impact of carbohydrate-heavy meals and lowered the blood sugar spikes. And that's amazing. So when we talk about blood sugar spikes and we're on this, I'm going to eat some sugary stuff and then my body's just going to dive down because I just went up so high. Or if I'm eating and my roller coaster is super high and low, that's the part that's not good for our body. And what Metapower Assist does is help those roller coasters even out. I like to think of it of changing from a big kid roller coaster to a little kid roller coaster, and helps your body not be so dramatically changed by the food that you eat. Does that make sense, Shaleen? Do you have something that you could share with this?
Yeah, you explained it really, really, really well. For those that are diabetic or have friends that are diabetic, that you're looking at helping them with this. This is one of the big pivotal ones. For me, I am diabetic and I take insulin so I can see the difference in that and have blood work that's coming back this week. So I get to see a little bit more of what's happening. But after talking with Dr. Riggs, which is one of the doTERRA doctors, he was saying that, so Shaleen, as she said, you take one with your largest meal and that helps the normal person, okay? Normal people don't experience extreme highs even without eating sugar. I cannot eat sugar and still get spikes. And he says that for those kind of people, you would want to take 2 to 3 with every single meal. And for me, that beats metformin in the side effects. And so it's worth taking that many and increasing that part of it to be off medication like that.
That is wonderful. Oh my goodness, I didn't know it can make that much difference. That is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go back to sharing the screen. Thank you, Jolene. And we'll move on to the Advantage Collagen. To me, this is the meat because this is where I feel I've seen the most changes. So I want to go back a little bit. I did lose weight, curb cravings. I lost 12 pounds. I kept that 12 pounds off this year. It is going to feel so good to go back to convention and feel like the Metapower made a difference for me weight-wise, because that's foremost in my mind. But there's so much more than weight. And I want to share with you what Advantage has done for me. This Advantage Collagen product is a little freeze-dried product that comes in a pack. Call it a sachet. And you mix it with water every day and you take it down. It's, of course, natural. You guys know doTERRA. We're going to talk about the ingredients in a minute. It does phenomenal things. But when they were announcing it at convention, I went, Really? Collagen product? Really? Because in my limited knowledge, those of you who've listened to me for a long time know I'm not very sciencey, and I don't understand even my own body that well. And then I learned so much more about collagen. It is not just for skin. It is for so much more. And we'll talk about that as well. So this product keeps collagen, gets it into our body when our body stopped producing it at age 25. It also helps with MNN, NMN, and I'm not going to say the scientific name of that, and NAD plus. And those are things which are found in every cell of the body. I even heard a doctor explain it once, and she said, I have people that come into me to get NAD put into their veins, NAD plus put into their veins, intravenously into their veins to get the benefit. But the MNN that they've put in here is so fantastic. Let's see. The NMN is the vital precursor, which NAD plus is the coenzyme found in every cell of the body. So they've been able to put the MNN in there that's going to help our NAD plus. I don't like to talk about those things because I don't get it. And so I don't sound smart talking about it, but I know how it's made me feel. So I'm going to pause for a minute and I want to share with you how it's made me feel. I was on the product for the first month and like I said, I was starting to feel a little bit tired. Then that went away and my skin started to change. I have pretty good skin, but I could tell the rough patches that I have on my skin got smooth. I have skin tags that shrunk down teeny, tiny. They've almost disappeared, but they haven't quite disappeared, but shrunk way down. And then I thought, oh, there's the skin benefit. That's good. But then I started to notice my sleep. My sleep was getting deeper and I started dreaming more. And then recently, so if you're on MetaPower, you want to hear this, if you're on Advantage, recently I saw Emily Wright and I believe it was Dr. O talking about MetaPower Advantage. And they said, if you're older like me, we should be taking it in the evenings instead of the morning. So for the last week, I've started taking it in the evenings instead of after breakfast in the morning. I have slept even deeper. I cannot even tell you the deep sleep and the dreams that have come. Well, what happens when you get more sleep? You feel more energy. And I am this Energizer bunny. I've always been an Energizer bunny. Now I'm one on steroids. I am blown away by the help that it gives me. So, and then I have to tell you the biggest change of all. And the reason I would be on Advantage the rest of my life, if it only helped this, my joints stopped hurting. So I have had knee joints, hip joints, some ankle joints, some shoulder joints, things that have hurt over my lifetime. And at the time of this, I was having some knee pain and still a little bit of hip pain. And the joints stopped hurting. And the thing that I noticed the most is I could be sitting here at my desk for a long period of time, because if you guys are like me, sometimes you'll be doing a project for 3 hours and you're like, oh my word, I've been sitting here too long. I need to get up. And I get up and my body would just be, oh, I got to shake out my legs before I can even walk. That's the part that's gone away. And when I get up, even after I've been playing the piano for a couple hours or on my computer for a couple hours or sitting and doing a stitching project or sewing, I get up and that feeling of achiness isn't there. I don't have to shake it out. That's mind-blowing to me. To me, that's saying my body clock's going back. The collagen and the natural products that are in here are helping my body feel younger. I'm just super excited by that. Okay, I'm going to share a few more pictures with you because time's going fast and I just got a few more things that I want to share. We're going to just show you that the powder goes into, please don't use plastic. We're always with oils and doTERRA trying to use glass or aluminum or steel containers. It's better for the oils not to touch the plastic because it degrades the plastic. Then you end up getting plastic in what you're ingesting. It's not good. So you can shake it in a shaker. I have a little blender, little hand blender that I do mine with. Some people just stir it with a spoon. Joe stirs his with a spoon and takes it down. I need it blended up just a little bit more. Some people mix it with water. Some people mix it with almond milk. Some people add a few oils to it to make it more palatable for them. I happen to not like the taste and I just get it down. So for me, it's just quick, get it down. This powder is shelf stable. A lot of collagen products out there are liquid, and that's not good. This shelf stable can sit there, gets activated when you mix it with cold or lukewarm water. You don't mix it with hot water. And then it gives your body the most benefit. And so I know this picture is a little small for you. I couldn't figure out how to make it a little bit bigger right now. But this in the upper left-hand corner, this lists all the different kinds of marine collagen that they put in here. And I just want you to know that any collagen product that is out there, almost everyone has 1 or 2 kinds of collagen in it. And most of them are not marine collagen, which is the best. So even the ones that are slightly more expensive than doTERRA's, they are marine collagen, but usually 1 or 2 kinds, not 9 kinds of marine collagen. And so then I learned about the collagens and how they help with skin, but they help with bones and then cartilage. And then they help with your brain function and membranes and cartilage, growth plates, joints, vertebrae, all these different things that I didn't realize collagen is a protein and it helps with. So please, I'm going to talk about the price in just a minute. Here is a great, if you want to take a picture of this one, this is all of the things they put into Advantage. And I'm not going to go through all those in detail, but I will tell you one of my friends who's a customer came to me and said, I can't take vitamin C is something I can't take. And so we did a little bit of research, and the liposomal vitamin C that doTERRA puts in theirs is different than regular vitamin C. And she has been on MetaPower and having a wonderful experience. So, doTERRA puts all natural, all these things, all natural, and each one has a good reason that it's going into the Advantage. So please consider Lifelong Vitality and MetaPower. These are the staples for our body to get what they need. And I would love to just tell you one thing that I figured out the other day when they were offering, those of you who've been with doTERRA a while, every once in a while they'll say, buy 200 PV and get this free gift. And that month, I didn't take advantage of it. And right after the month ended, I'm like, man, I'm out of MetaPower Advantage. I need to stock up. How did that happen? And so I quickly looked it up just for fun. And I put 1 MetaPower Advantage into my cart. I added 3 more. And in one order of 4, I would have gotten that 200 PV and the free product. Would have been 205 PV. And because I've ordered for a long time, I would have gotten 30% off. And the cost per Advantage sachet would have been $1.82. Some of you may be going $1.82 a day. I am worth it. It is worth it to turn your clock backwards. $1.82 a day. That's the price of one of the cheaper collagens that's out there. And we can do that for ourselves at a very reasonable price. Get the best product that is out there to help our metabolism. Now, just before we end, convention is coming up. There won't be classes for the next 2 weeks. If you know about microbiomes, you're ahead of me. I'm learning about microbiomes, and doTERRA is going to give us some added help when it comes to probiotics. That's what they've given us the heads up coming in convention. And I'm excited because that's going to help our gut even more. And if we help our gut, we help our body with everything. So super excited to see what that brings for us. And so the next 2 weeks, we won't be having a class. Following that 2 weeks, Jolene and I are going to be doing something different. We're going to team teach 8 classes. And you'll see in the newsletter this week, when you get the newsletter, I've listed out the 8 classes. They're going to continue on Wednesdays at the same time. And if you attend all 8 or watch the videos, which I put on my YouTube page, you can watch the videos if watching it live doesn't work for you, then I will have a gift for you. Jolene will have a gift for her people that attend. And we want to give you an 8-class version of continuing education so that you have a lot of great information for yourself to use the oils. Anything to add? Any questions? All right. Thank you so much for getting on, everybody. Super excited to have shared that with you. I hope you learned something, and I hope it's re-energized you to do what's best for you and use the oils and these natural products to benefit your life. Thanks for getting on. Love y'all.